And the team that gets me excited, Manchester United, Manchester United.
Thanks as well, Paddy.
Oh, two bloody days.
2 days, mate.
£80 million, and he can't run down the right wing.
Yeah.
But guess whose fault it was?
It's a bit now, but it's gotten a bit tight now.
Yeah, I think it's shrunk in the wash.
Yeah. Who, me or the shirt?
Both.
It's a toxic mix.
Yeah.
Toxic mix.
Toxic mix, that's easy for you to say. Hi everyone, we're back.
We're back.
Dave and
Dave.
That's it. 2 Daves. We're back. Episode 2. Come on. I didn't think we'll get through episode 1, to be honest.
No.
But we've smashed our subscribers target. Unbelievable. So we wanted 10 in a couple of months. We've now got 32. Can't believe it, can you?
No.
32. And that's only 2 subscriptions from ourselves. So we've had 30 new ones.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's only cost us £20 each to pay them, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've had 290 plus views of episode 1, which is incredible. But the question is, Dad, how many of them 290 views have you had?
280.
280? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so we've done well already to get 32 subscribers.
Yeah.
He has watched it a few times. Can't stop himself. But some of the comments you put on there, we've had comments on YouTube, we've had comments on WhatsApp and personal messages and that. Like Jeff the Red, first one on there, Ben Charlton. Fantastic. Cheers, guys. Really appreciate you putting comments on YouTube.
Yeah.
Really, I know you're massive. Obviously, I'll see you up at Old Trafford as well, and thank you again. Got Simon, my old neighbour, West Brom fan. Obviously, popped in to see him recently as well. Really, really appreciate you subscribing, Si, and the comments and everything. And we will talk a little bit about West Brom as well, so watch this space. And then we got our friend as well. We've gone global, haven't we, Dad?
We've gone global. We've gone to Malaysia to. We've got to thank Rajan.
Yeah.
For his comments and his like.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, because he said I think he liked the Ray Wilkins one because he said he met Ray Wilkins in Malaysia in '96, and he remembers Ray talking to him about his disappointment about breaking his cheekbone, losing the United and England captaincy, and I think he must have mentioned to him about someone asking him for a photograph as well while he had a broken cheekbone. So I wonder if he did mention that to him. Yeah, might have done. Don't know. Maybe. But what I thought was good about Rajan's comments was he started supporting United in '71, which was the start of a difficult time, wasn't it, for United? '71. Franco Farrell was the manager. Obviously, Sumat went up top, didn't he? The players were getting older and starting to struggle a little bit, weren't they? They were on the decline, put it that way. But he chose United, and he said in his comments he chose United because the stories that his dad had told him about Munich, about Sumat, about the Holy Trinity, about Lawbest and Charlton, and that was it, wasn't it? You'd have had somebody at Sumat, wouldn't you? To have all those stories and stuff, and that's similar to obviously what you said before.
Yeah, well, usually you find the son or the daughter follows the father's likes. Not always the case, but predominantly.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Now, I wonder the stories that Rajan's father had, but there was a lot. It would have been a lot to choose from, wouldn't there? Going back to the Busby Babes and to do that. So incredible, and that's the pull of United, isn't it? Because there would have been other teams at that time. Leeds United would have been dominated then, weren't they, in '71? Liverpool were there, Arsenal, Chelsea, but he chose United. That's the pull of United, isn't it? So, and we've also had comments from a friend of mine in Germany as well. Not really a football fan, but Sabrina, thank you very much. Really appreciate your comments and that you're looking forward to the next one. Who else can we mention? Another non-football fan, been a family friend for a long, long time. So Dave, and we call him, is Dave the hairdresser? Because he's an hairdresser.
Yeah.
That's why we call him Dave, because there's too many Daves, isn't there? So and he loved it. And he doesn't like football at all, you know, but he watched it. Obviously, he knows us from way back, and he loved it. So, you know, cheers, Dave. Really appreciate it, mate. So Ireland, we got one from Ireland as well. We had that messages saying it was really good. And that's another Dave. Oh, what's going on? Wonder why we called it United with Dave. It's so yeah, we can't believe it. We're really enjoying it. We're going to keep on doing it. So, and obviously we're going to get more people involved as well as we go along. More people that we've met during our journey, and also people that I've met going up to Old Trafford as well. I've mentioned Jeff the Red and Ben Charlton there. You know, cracking guys. Love United. So many stories, and we'll get on there so we can share their stories with you. That'll be great. So this is episode 2.
Episode 2, here we go.
United with Dave. We've gone retro again. Dad's got what we got on this one? 1968.
68.
So European Cup winning side. So that's like a different badge, isn't it? That's like a Manchester. Yeah, the different badge that they did that for just for the European Cup final. That's a classic top, isn't it? Absolute classic. So, and he's got George Best number 7 on the back. Trust me, it has. So fantastic.
It used to fit me, but it's gone a bit tight now.
Yeah, I think it's shrunk in the wash.
Yeah. Who, me or the shirt?
Both. So yes, both definitely. And I've gone retro, so this one people will recognise this one from the 80s, sort of was it about 86, something like 86, 87, something like that. But you can't beat it, can you? With the United Football Club, the proper Adidas badge, sharp electronics. That's it, and that's what you want, isn't it? So episode 2. We said last time we were going to do some memorabilia stuff in this one, so we're actually going to do that in the next episode, because when we did the recording for episode 1, we did so much. It's actually created another episode for us, so we're going to use that. So you'll see us going back in time. That'll be wearing his red United shirt again. It's just because that's what we recorded originally. So it's all good stuff. It's brilliant stuff. Dad talking about going to watch West Brom when he was a kid as well, being on the old Tend at Villa Park, and talking about some of the other memories. But we're also adding in some videos that we've taken along the way of when we've met personalities and players and that as well, that we'll talk about. So that's quite good as well. So people get to see them. So they know they're ours, but we want to share them. So I think that'll be quite good.
And you've been going up to Old Trafford since. With Georgia, your daughter.
But Georgia met Sir Bobby on her first game at Old Trafford, so that was something else, wasn't it? And also had a lovely picture with him. We were just waiting by one of the car parks, and saw him drive in, so we thought we'd just wait. And Georgia's filming, and then they just walk out of this gated area, and Sir Bobby's wife Norma just said to Georgia, no, Sir Bobby said to Georgia, sorry, did you get your picture? And then his wife said, oh, do you want one? And Georgia, and then we've got a great picture of Sir Bobby with Georgia. You know, so, and you know, that's just incredible. That is. Yeah, so treasured possession. That one.
And other people you met coming out of that area.
Yeah. So loads of players, some of the older players as well, and I much prefer meeting the older players, because they have more time for you, really, and they appreciate what they've done and where they've, you know, playing for Man United, they do it. Some of the current players do, and they've got a time for the fans, but some of them I don't think they do. And you can't really get to them. You can't get anywhere near them. But yeah, so numerous people. Wilf McGuinness was one of the highlights. What a guy he is, Wilf McGuinness. Such a nice guy, funny guy as well. Always talk to you, have a chat to you. And I remember, so I'm stood outside Old Trafford. I had his book for him to sign, so he signed his book, having a chat with him. And then there's a picture there of the Busby Babes. I think it was before the first game of the season. I think they're training. There's a big group of them, and he's talking to me about the players that are in that picture. He's in that picture himself, and he's talking to me. You know, Wilf McGuinness, a Busby Babe, is talking to me about those other Busby Babes and telling them who was who, and you know, obviously I knew quite a few of them were anyway, but he was telling me different things about them and stuff, and you could see in his mind, you know, he was really proud to be talking about it, but it still, you know, hurt him as well to talk about some of the lads and that as well.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, Wilf McGuinness. What else we got? It's a bit Old Trafford. Mickey Thomas is one as well. But I mentioned Mickey. Another again, what a guy he was, and a good player as well. Mickey Thomas. You know, probably came to United maybe a bit too young, and maybe he wasn't protected enough because he was young coming from Wrexham. It's a big thing to do, in it, play for United and that. But good player, good career. Welsh international as well. But what a nice bloke. He offered to help me. I was helping my mate who wasn't well at the time, and he offered to help and been sort of constant contact during that stage. And he's not been well himself as well. He survived stomach cancer, Mickey T. But real nice guy. He'd always have time for people, you know. One thing that I remember about Mickey Thomas is he offered to get something signed for me by get some of the other players to come down to see us. I think someone like Lou Macari and Arthur Albiston and things. And I said, Mickey, you don't have to, you know, they might be, but he said, you don't have to. He said, why shouldn't I ask them? That's what he said to me. Why not? Why don't I ask them? They'll come down, no problem. You know, if you ask that to some of the players now, they wouldn't want to do that.
No.
You know, and it was, yeah, so, you know, amazing. Sandy Busby, what a gentleman he was, Sir Matt Busby's son. You know, he's sadly no longer with us either. He passed away a few years ago. Great guy as well, really nice guy. So the warmest handshake you'd ever known as well. So he didn't have any circulation problems. So, and he was always there. He was really kind to us and kind to Georgia. I remember giving Georgia some commemorative letter stamps or something about his dad, about Sir Matt, and he gave that to Georgia. So, you know, really, really nice. So many, and I'll go through some of the other ones in other videos as well. But there's loads, and not just footballers as well. There's other people as well that have been.
Rick Astley.
Rick Astley is a massive United fan, and I was a massive Rick Astley fan back in the day when he first started. Yeah. So brilliant to meet Rick Astley because I grew up listening to his records, thinking I was Rick Astley. Yeah, he was, and he did a video for my mate as well. He told him to never give up. So so that was really nice. Good. He's a top bloke.
Hi Rob, it's Rick Astley, and I'm never going to give you up. I'm thinking about you, mate. All right.
The Irish guy.
Eamon Holmes.
Eamon Holmes,
yeah. Eamon Holmes, yeah, that's a funny story, the Eamon Holmes one. The Eamon Holmes one, me and my mate, my best buddy Rob, my unofficial brother, he was battling leukemia for the second time, and I used to get like videos of support stuff for him, so we could always watch him and listen to him when he was like a bit, you know, down and what have you. And we was up there once, and people were coming out. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Fergie's last game actually. There was loads of people there, and then there's Eamon Holmes. And I think Rob said to me, "Oh, it's Eamon Holmes there. Should we get a picture?" I said, "It's only Eamon Holmes. Don't worry about it." And he never let me forget that. And then when Rob was really poorly, Eamon Holmes, I was at another game and Eamon Holmes came out, and I asked him if he'd do a video for Rob, just to wish him all the best and for the future, etc. I told him about the story, about the picture. I didn't say that I said there was a mix up with the picture and stuff. So he said, right, okay, so he got it. He did a fantastic message. And he said, "Sorry about the picture mix up, but the problem is you've got some good friends, and then there's Dave." And he said, whose fault it was, and he said Dave's, and he just did this to the camera just to stop it, and then off he went.
Rob, hope all's well, mate. Keep fighting away. Heard about your troubles, and keep doing the right thing. Keep doing the good thing. We're all thinking about you. You've got good friends. Well, most of your friends are good. Then there's Dave. And I'm sorry about that whole picture thing and that mix-up for the last time. But guess whose fault it was? Dave.
Legend.
He came back and he said, "We've just missed a trick." He said, "We need to have that picture." And I said, "All right then." So I had a picture with Eamon Holmes to give to Rob, and it just shows you where there's some genuine people out there. You might see them on the telly or whatever it is, but they genuinely realise what they're privileged position they're in, and they do want to help people. It's that was a nice touch there, Eamon Holmes. Yeah, that was a nice touch.
And it was the young lady from Countdown.
So Rachel Riley.
Yeah, you met her as well.
Yeah, met Rachel. Yeah, she's lovely as well. Yeah, she's lovely. Got a picture with Rachel Riley. Yeah, that's Rachel number 2. So my wife is Rachel as well. So she's Rachel Riley. Well, Rachel Riley is Rachel 2. Yes. Ian McShane as well was another one. Lovejoy.
Yeah.
People who are going back remember the series. Hollywood actor, but a massive United fan. He did a video for Rob as well, which was great. Nice guy. And his dad played for United. So his dad was Harry McShane, and he played for Sir Matt Busby in the late 40s and 50s. And he actually, this season, they actually gave him a medal for winning the league in 1952 because he only played a certain amount of games, and there was a rule at the time you had to play 15 games or something like that. But they've since changed it. So United have gone back in history, and they've given medals out to all people who qualified. So he was there to get that, so that was quite nice. But yeah, he's a character, old Lovejoy.
And Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis Law. Yeah, that was again. He's a legend, and Dennis Law, just incredible. So I met Dennis. He was coming to one of the games. We knew he was going to be at one of the games. So I'm in the Munich tunnel. There's quite a lot of people there, and I had a copy 1963 Cup Final shirt on. And I thought, well, if I could see him, I'll try and get him to sign that. Loads of people there, and I was talking to a guy, and he said, he's there now, and I couldn't spot him, and I just stood out, and he was just there in front of me. So he signed this shirt, and then he went in. No one else. He didn't stop for anyone else. It was just, but he wasn't well at the time. He had problems with his eyes, and he's obviously not well now. And I've since met him at the NEC. He was doing a signing thing, so he did it. Went with a pal of mine, and they say don't meet your heroes, but Dennis, such a lovely bloke, just talk to you about anything. It was incredible. So really nice guy, Dennis Law. And we've spoke about Brian Robson before as well, and he helped out as well. Robbo, he's always got loads of time for you. But Robbo, don't meet your heroes, but if you get a chance, meet Robbo. He's a top man. He's a top man genuinely. He knows what it's all about to be captain of Man United, and he knows what it is to play for Man United. Look at the injuries that he had because he put everything on the line, didn't he? And what he achieved for the club, just incredible. But he'd go out of his way to help if he can, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolute legend. So one of the characters as well that's always around Old Trafford is Paddy Crowand. He used to do his bit on MUTV, didn't he? And he still does a bit in the programme as well. Met him a few times. Absolute head case, Paddy Crowand. Tough as anything as well when he played. But you could always have a chat with him and a laugh and that with him. And I met him.
I don't think he'd like you saying he's the head case.
No, I think he does realise that he was.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So he don't take any messing, old Paddy Crevin.
Christmas, I know it's your birthday as well, so behave yourself, it's very important.
Yeah.
Lovely to speak to you, nice to meet your son.
Yeah, I'm Dave as well, Paddy.
Oh, two bloody days.
2 days, mate.
You're not from Wales by any chance?
Well, funnily enough, we are, yeah, Evans,
Well,
yeah.
so
We're
that-
Evans, mate, yeah.
No, it's a very popular
So
name in
we're all,
Wales,
yeah,
isn't it, Dave?
exactly. Dave Evans, mate,
You
yeah.
have to guess
75.
where my family are from, Paddy.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. We know where you're from. You're from Wales as well.
Nice to see you.
Nice one.
I'll tell you something, I've got a son called Paddy, so there's two of us.
And some of the stories that he had when he had his pub as well, because he had this pub in Manchester when he retired, and he said to me that every person, I've read it as well, is that anyone involved with football would be there. And United used to drink there, Robbo and Whiteside and McGrath and stuff used to drink in that pub. And he said some of the stories. But I saw him recently, and I said to him, Paddy, I said, one day you're going to have to tell me some of these stories about the pub. He said, yeah. I said, you won't believe it. So, and then he said once, he said, I've been there and Robbo's waiting for it to open. He said, sometimes I was just giving him the keys for Robbo to open the pub up. So it's no wonder Fergie got that sorted and stopped the drinking culture. But it didn't affect Robbo, he still carried on. Because he was superhuman, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember we went to Villa Park
Yeah.
and we were sat in the front row.
It was in the away end, weren't we? Yeah, in the front there, really close to the pitch, weren't we?
And Robbo picked the ball up on the halfway line and ran down the right wing. Like a true athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, that was 83-84 season. United were on a really good run. We'd just beaten Barcelona in the Cup Winners' Cup quarter-final. And the team, they were on fire. They would look like we're going to win the league. And they won 3-0 that day against Villa, and it was men against boys, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Robbo was just head and shoulders above everybody else. But they were awesome that day. Stapleton, Whiteside, Moses played Muir and Wilkins. It was, yeah, incredible.
Well, I remember a game at Villa Park, and I was bragging at work a few days before the game that United were going to thrash the Villa. And I think it was a night game. And Georgie, Bobby, and Dennis were all playing. And I think we lost 3-0. Couldn't believe it. And they were really laughing at me the next day at work. I still can't believe it to this day.
Yeah.
But we got hammered. But that's football.
That's football. Someone said, is it a funny old game, isn't it?
It's a funny old
Funny
game.
old game, isn't it? And what a player he was as well.
Old Jimmy,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Lord rest in peace, Jimmy.
And I'm sure I saw Jimmy's first ever away game at the Albion.
Yeah.
As a youngster, I think.
What, for Chelsea?
But he was about 18, I think. Because while we're on that subject, I must dismiss people out there who might think I've jumped on the bandwagon of United's success. And maybe I did, but I was born in 48, and I started following United in about 55, 56, reading the newspaper, which I could just about read, and I could see the headlines, Busby Babes. And I asked my dad, who were the Babes, Dad? And he explained who they were. And they just caught my imagination. And watching the few clips you saw on TV then, didn't get money. I just fell in love with the whole story of United, and so no, I haven't jumped on the bandwagon. I've always been a United supporter, and the myth that you support the club from where you were born, it just doesn't make any sense at all, does it, son? I mean, United are global. People from all over the world follow United, as they do with all the big clubs, even small clubs. It's the world's become a small place now, and so I've dismissed that myth. Have you dismissed it?
Have you dismissed that myth? Or support your local team?
Yeah, but having said that, I used to sell lottery tickets on the Holt End, Villa Park, as a young kid, and gone to the Hawthorns numerous occasions, Coventry City a few times.
But you were saying about when you went to like West Brom back in the day, this was the time when West Brom were playing, like Bobby Robson would have been playing, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Brian Russell.
Donaire,
right back. I used to play right back at school at the time. I used to watch him and try and model my game on Donaire. Fantastic right back.
Yeah.
Bobby Hope.
Yeah.
Chippy Clark on the left wing. Some good players. Good solid team.
Yeah.
I can't remember a lot. I mean, it's a long time ago. I mean,
well, I was just saying that.
I'm ancient now.
Donaire and Bobby Robson playing.
Yeah.
That was, wasn't it? So that's like, around about 1960, isn't it? Or the late 50s. So you was only a young lad when you were doing that.
This is what we're lacking in the team today. The Gordon Hill.
Crosses a good one, Pearson.
The Steve Coppell.
Getting to the line again when he's so dangerous. There's the cross, and there's the goal.
Steve's Coppell play was simplistic, direct, but effective. He'd receive the ball on the right, go past the fullback, and get a top-notch cross in. There was no Ronaldo, best Beckham flaring tricks. Just straightforward, tireless wing play. If he'd lose the ball, he'd work his socks off to get it back. I wouldn't stop running for 90 minutes. He was full of effort and energy. He'd always give 100%, never shirked the toughest or even the most menial of tasks, and was a constant 7 to 8 out of 10 performer for the club every single week. Hence his record run in the team, an unbroken ever-present for years, for a massive 207 games between 1977 and 1981. That reliability was priceless, and he also popped up with a decent amount of goals himself too.
So thank you very much. And here's Whiteside. And here's Coppell in a lot of space. Can it be number 4? There's the answer.
Wingers who could play as wingers, take a player on, go down the wing, cross the ball.
Yeah. That's it. You just keep doing it, don't you? Get the wing, just hug the touch line, and just take the fullback on.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, do it again next time.
Yeah.
And if that don't work, just keep doing it.
Yeah. And what's the name of the winger we got? I could never remember.
Anthony.
What does he do every time he gets the ball?
He just comes inside or just passes it backwards. Yeah. And then when he has the chance of running down the wing, he doesn't, because he's left-footed.
Yeah. So hold it there. What I always said to you who's telling him on the training field
Yeah.
what he should do?
Yeah.
How much did we pay for him?
It was 80 odd million, wasn't it? Which is crazy.
80 million pounds, and he can't run down the right wing.
Yeah.
Where is the sense in that?
There is no.
What
sense.
is the manager doing?
Yeah.
What are the training staff doing?
Yeah.
We're continually lost for words, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we are. We're talking about the teams that we've seen play. Some successful and some not successful for United, but they always had players that would take people on.
Yeah.
And wingers and stuff, and we've seen it with Stevie Coppell, Gordon Hill, and then Steve Coppell just carried on until he was injured. And then we had to find our way with another. We had Arthur Graham for a little bit, and he was still an old-fashioned winger. And then it wasn't until Fergie came in, we like Kanchelskis, wasn't it? I know he was just a speed merchant.
Absolutely.
Get the ball and he's gone.
Yeah.
But he could score goals as well, and he was up. And then what he did a bit later on, Kanchelskis, is everyone thought he was going to go outside, so they're trying to stop. But then he used to come inside sometimes and shoot with his left foot. And then the fullbacks didn't know where to do.
Yeah.
Didn't know whether to stick or twist. So they did neither, and he just beat them. So, and then it just evolved from that, didn't it? But
Ince does well. Giggs, Leclerc, lovely movement from United, and Kanchelskis here is one-on-one. He's got Cantona square. He goes alone, and he's
Kanchelskis. 3 shirts in the centre. Oh, what a header! Oh, what a goal! It's Cantona. Kanchelskis has continued the run. The hands go up for offside. No question of that. Kanchelskis all the way. Yes. 1-0 inside the first corner, which Kanchelskis will take. Sharp was offering an option. And up from the back's Pallister. Well, he doesn't offer. Cantona. Good ball down the line to Kanchelskis, and he's got the pace, and he's going. All alone. And he doesn't need any help. Brilliant.
Too many tactics, and it's just so frustrating.
Absolutely.
I long for the days of watching a player like Steve Coppell.
Absolutely.
Just incredible to see that play and that wing play, the pace, and he never stopped as well, did he? Never stopped running. Yeah, he could teach him a thing or two now, definitely.
Yeah. And
definitely.
I won't mention any player by name because I don't think that's fair.
Well, except for Anthony.
Oh well, I didn't mention.
Yeah, apart from him.
I forgot that.
Apart from him, Anthony.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But how can you criticise? You've never played for Man United. No, but I've watched Man United, and I've seen good players in the past, and that's how I can criticise them. It's a comparison, and there's no comparison at all. I've seen players be observers in their own penalty area, watching the action when they should be stopping the action, passing the ball to the opposition, tripping players up in the penalty area. It's just, we're lost for words, aren't we?
Well,
again?
It's just like the basics. They can't get the basics right, can they?
No.
And then if they can't get that right, then nothing else is going to happen. And just not being tuned into the game and not aware of, the players that are around you, both your teammates and the opposition, and talking to each other. And it's simple stuff, isn't it? The simple stuff is, if you're playing a back four or whatever, or a back three, you talk to each other, and you say, either you pass somebody on, or you get them to look over the the right shoulder or whatever it is, and if the play's on the opponent's right wing, then our right fullback should just sort of tuck in a little bit as well, just to cover the centre half, but be fully aware what's going on behind him, because rather the left winger is going to come in on you, or the left fullback's going to overlap, or they're going to have an overload to the team, and teams always overload on United because they know that we can't get organised.
Yeah.
So you know, whatever flank you're on, the right fullback's got to have a good relationship with the right winger, and then the centre midfielder as well. So between the three of them, they've got to work it out between themselves, and they don't seem to be able to do it.
No.
And it's simple stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't understand. There's too many individuals, and it's very frustrating.
And what do you think Roy Keane would have said to the players if he was on the field?
Well, he'd give them a rollicking, wouldn't he? He'd tell them. He'd tell them on the field, and he'd tell them in the changing room.
Yeah.
So,
and what do you think Brian Robson would have said?
Well, exactly. He would have sorted them out. They would have had them, and they wouldn't do it again. So, but it's, I don't know. Some of the players nowadays just play when they want to play, and do what they want to do. And sometimes they, I don't know, lack commitment. That'd be fair? It seems that way. They lack commitment. They lack of understanding about who they're actually playing for. You know, United's defence before, you always build your team on a solid defence, don't you? So, and that's what Fergie did over time. It took him a while to do it, but once he got his first defence, then we built on that, didn't we? You know, you look at the first one. It was what did he do? He eventually bought Paul Parker to play right back. He bought Gary Pallister in. He struggled to start with Gary Pallister, who was a young, gangly centre half, wasn't he? Then he had Steve Bruce. 6'2", eyes of blue. Stevie Bruce. He's after you. What a player he was, Steve Bruce. You know, and then we had Dennis Irwin. You know, and they played together, and they worked as a unit. And then United stepped up from there, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's and then that evolved into what Vidic, Ferdinand.
It goes on and on, doesn't it?
You know, and you look at the history we've had, and before that as well, we had you know, the teams that we saw when we went to Old Trafford, and the centre halves then were like Kevin Moran and Gordon McQueen. You know, two complete opposites of players.
Yeah.
Kevin Moran, an absolute nutcase. He'd be injured nearly every game. He never wore shin pads. He'd put his head in where no one else would do.
Yeah.
You know, and he was totally committed. So you could possibly say maybe there were slightly better centre halves around. I don't think there was many, but the commitment he showed, and he came up with some goals as well, and he was always committed. And playing him alongside Gordon McQueen, and he was some defender, Gordon McQueen, wasn't he?
Yeah, and occasionally he'd stride up to the opposing penalty area.
Yeah.
He'd travel up with the ball.
Yeah, he just glide, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and the crowd would stand as soon. You know, if you're in the seats, everybody will stand up and, whoa, here he goes.
Here he goes. Because he was quick. We didn't realise how quick he was. And I was reading about it that they reckon at the time he was the quickest in training once he got going, but you never really saw him. We didn't have to. And I remember once, there was a couple of things with Gordon, but he miscontrolled the ball, I think it was, in the sort of corner of the ground, and it went over him or something, and he's running back with it, and he's telling himself off. And we're sort of sat in that stand in that area, and he's cursing himself, telling himself off for doing that. And then I think someone tried to get the ball off him, and he got rid of them, and then he just knocked it away. So, but we also saw him as well before one of the games, didn't we?
Yeah, he was coming out of the changing room, and you went.
He was going to warm up, wasn't he?
Yeah, and you went to get his autograph.
Yeah.
And he said, "After the march."
Yeah, and then
he just walked away.
Flew down the because he saw there was a few people there, and he was focused, weren't he? But I did meet him a lot later on. Gordon McQueen, complete gentleman, real nice guy. Signed, and you could see he was struggling a bit then as well with his mobility a little bit. And had a great, nice picture with him. I had a little bit of a chat with him, and really. So R.I.P. Gordon McQueen. Okie dokie, that's the end of episode 2. Hope you enjoyed that one. Brilliant to do that again. But what we've got to ask everybody to do?
Well, we'd all like you to press like.
Yeah. So
even if you don't like it, press like.
No pressure. So subscribe it as well, share. If you can, that'd be great. Comments
along there.
Yeah. comments there. Yeah, that's it. That'd be brilliant. Really appreciate it. You know, the more the merrier. We can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Yeah, even if the comments are bad, we don't mind. Just bring it on.
Yeah. And also, just one more thing as well is the video that you've seen about Paddy Crowran that he mentions a birthday. So it was his birthday just before Christmas. He was 75. But as you can see from the photograph that's just done now, I couldn't get balloons that said 75. I could only get 57. So Dad was quite happy to be 57 again, weren't he?
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's the world we live in.
Exactly.
Okay. So it's a goodbye from him.
And it's a goodbye from him.
So thanks again for watching United with Dave. Take it easy, stay safe, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Ciao.
United. But it's United. Keep the red flag flying high. United will never die.
Now football is a pleasant game, played in the sun, played in the rain, and the team that gets me excited, Manchester United, Manchester